Good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? Good, good. Okay, I want to start this morning, if I can have you for just a second, have your attention. I want to start with a question, and that's this. How do you know that God loves you? Yesterday we talked about this amazing truth all day long, that you are loved fully, deeply by the God of the universe. But if someone were to come up to you today and ask you that question, how do you know? What would be your response? After all, there will be a number of times in your life where you are tempted to doubt that truth. Moments or seasons when it feels like life just keeps coming at you and doesn't stop, and it's relentless, and you go through one hard thing after another, and there'll be these times when you'll want to look up at heaven and say, God, are you seeing this? Do you care about what's going on in my life? And if you do, then why am I still going through it? Why don't you fix it? There'll be moments in your life when you screw up, probably, for many of us in this room, when we screw up more than we ever thought possible, where we sin in ways that we never expected to sin. And you're going to get on your knees, and you're going to pray to God, and you're going to ask Him for forgiveness, and then you're going to still feel guilty. Still feel unforgiven, and like God could not possibly forgive you for what you've done or love you after the way you've turned your back on Him. And in those moments, it's going to be so tempting to wonder whether or not He loves you. So in those moments, how do you know? The Bible actually has an answer for that, a really clear one, and it's an answer that the Bible comes back to time and time again. I think you could go to a number of places, but this idea is probably expressed most clearly in what I think is my favorite verse in all the Bible, Romans 5:8, that says this: but God demonstrates His own love, and actually some versions say God proves His own love for us in this, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. The answer the Bible gives is clear and simple. The way you know God loves you is that He sent Jesus to die for you. And the New Testament writers will come back to it time and time again. And they got this idea, by the way, from Jesus, who said these words in John 13 or 15:13, greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. So in those moments when you doubt, does He love me? You don't look to your circumstances to answer that question. And you don't look into your feelings and ask, do I feel like He loves me? And you don't look at your goodness or lack of goodness to answer that question. You look to the cross time and time again. But here's the thing. The act of dying for someone doesn't necessarily mean that you love that person. It doesn't necessarily prove that you love them. Let me give you a couple scenarios to kind of help you think through this, okay? Scenario number one. You're walking one morning with one of your best friends. You're walking along this path, and it's a cold January morning. Sub-freezing temperatures, all right? There's ice, there's snow all over the ground, and you're walking along and you're bundled up. And as you're going on this walk with this friend, you begin to make your way over this bridge that crosses over a big, giant, icy river. And you're making your way along, and as you're on the bridge, your friend says to you, hey, I want you to know something. I really love you. And you're like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love you too. And he's like, no. I really love you. I love you so much, man. I would die for you. In fact, I'm going to prove that to you. And then your friend steps up on the side of the bridge and then throws himself off the bridge into the water and drowns and dies. Would you say to yourself in that moment, man, my friend really loved me? Or would you say to yourself, man, I think my friend was a psychopath, right? Like that's what actually you're thinking in your head in that moment. Now, scenario two, you're walking on that same freezing cold January morning, and you're walking across that same bridge over that same river when all of a sudden you slip on an icy patch, and that causes you to go tumbling over the side of the bridge, and you go down into the black, icy water, and you can't make sense of what's up or down. You're so disoriented, but it wouldn't even matter because your body's going through so much shock from the cold, and it's freezing up on you, and you can't find yourself swimming, especially against the current that is pushing you so far downstream and under the surface